Alright. Looks like we are live. What is up, people? Let's see what's on Hacker News today. Toyota suffered data breach by accidentally exposing a secret key on GitHub. Okay. Ouch. Let's see. Why doesn't Stripe use Stripe billing? Nietzsche and Turin. TikTok profits from live streams of families begging Jesus. How to find startup ideas. Nah. I'm actually interested in this one. Toyota suffers a data breach by accidentally exposing a secret key publicly on GitHub. Yee. A partial copy of their T-Connect source code, which had been accidentally exposed for 5 years. Wow. The code was made public from December 17th to September 2022. Wow. Compared to 6. Okay, let's see. So they oh no. Copy of code to public Git repository. Some contractor published a key to a public Git repository instead of the private Git. Wow. Yikes. That is rough. Oh, hey Justin, what's up? Okay, so okay, I see this. This tends to happen. So if you accidentally commit some code and that happens to be the key, yeah, no bueno. So this is basically what happened here. It's kind of remarkable, but all right. Toyota introduced a new telematics service. I have no idea what. Okay, offering interactive voice response and allowing drivers to connect to third-party apps. Okay. Connected services that provide safe security and combination through vehicle communication. In-car Wi-Fi, digital access. Okay, okay. So it's just like a T-Connect is just a hub. All right. A subcontractor, a portion of the source code was uploaded to a public GitHub repository. Inside the repo was a hard-coded access key for the data server that manages customer info. Okay, my question is this public source code for T-Connect, was it meant to be uploaded? And then inside that was a hard-coded access key for the data server. Jesus. Yeah, no one noticed that this repo was public. And then once they realized it was public, they realized there's a key in it. Wow. Okay, talk to customers, no sign of breach. Yeah, so how can you protect yourselves? Yeah, Toyota's fucked up, man. Toyota fucked up on this one, not gonna lie. Or the contractor, I should say, more accurately. Attackers use context along with stolen emails to create more convincing phishing campaigns. Okay. How can devs prevent from this happening again? Code intended to be private was pushed to public repo. Credentials for a database server holding customer data was hard-coded into the repo. Yeah, I think token authentication is actually one way to actually do this. Because if you publish the token, it doesn't matter because the token gets retired in 24 hours. So basically, this is a what's it called? This is a issue in the process. Actually, the secret should never actually be easily added and committed unless like the subcontractor is very specifically malicious. So I think this is probably like just a mistake that was easily avoided. To my knowledge, plugging in secrets and then attaching them to like an internal intranet. That's definitely one way to go about it. So let's see what the comments say. GitHub PM here. Glad it was a good. Okay, let's see. Actually, had something similar happened to me last month. I accidentally pushed a Discord API key to GitHub, and within minutes they got an ice message from Safety Gym to my personal Discord account, letting me know that they found my key on a public repo and gone ahead and revoked it. Hey, that's nice. Yo, that's actually super good, actually. Oh, shit. Take a look at this. So GitHub scans public repositories for secrets that were accidentally published. Hey, good on GitHub for doing this, actually. This is actually a really nice practice. It's like, hey, we're going to scan the public repositories and the Git commits for all these API keys. What do you know? No, this is honestly such a good feature. Whoever came up with this feature for GitHub deserves a fucking raise. That's actually such a nice one. This exists on GitHub, but not for free. Okay. Honestly, I think this is worth paying. This is actually worth paying for. GitHub blog. Okay, GitHub and recognizes tokens from a lot of services. Found a bunch of SSH keys from a while back for Comcast. Huh. Anyway. And don't worry, I'll bring my client on in a minute or so. Immigration attorney, form friendships. Regulators of Facebook, Google, and Amazon also invest in the company's stocks. Well, go figure. Of course you do. If you own like the S&P 500, you are already like proxy invested in Facebook, Google, and Amazon. So it's kind of a meaningless case here. The White House. What? White House is pushing ahead research to cool Earth by reflecting back sunlight. Is this the Onion? What? This looks like an Onion article, bro. No, it's CNBC. A 5-year research plan to study modifying the amounts of light that reach Earth in order to temporarily temper the effects of global warming. Stratospheric aerosol injection. Can we... Holy shit, what? Alright. This is already getting so ridiculous, I don't even believe that this is real. Alright, let's bring my client on and see what's up. It's 8 p.m. Man. Hello?
Hey, Edward.
Hey, what up?
Hey, man. How's it going?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good.
Alright, cool. Catch me up on your practice. Did working with Jay or help? Did you feel like you were able to find some more issues and get a little better at your problem solving?
It definitely did help. Yeah, just seeing the other person go back and forth. Because when you're doing it, it's different, right? I guess you don't see it in the eyes of the other person, so that definitely did help. So yeah, as a result of this, I updated my DSA checklist once more, and I've been doing problems. I've been casually glancing at it because there's these habits that are hard to break. I think that's why I keep going back and forth, right? So in the beginning, what I'm doing is I slowly glance it. So I guess that will go away once I do more of these problems, right? That's my plan here. Because I've noticed a lot of times I skip the brute force and then I go back to it.
Yep.
But these steps should all be sequential.
Yep. Not only that, it should be very you should already have like a instinct for when you might potentially be fucking up, right? Like, oh, I've seen myself in this situation before. I know I'm likely to make XYZ mistakes. right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like for instance, I'm about to code. I know I am prone to make not checking if my code actually works or if I've covered my test cases. It should be like once you see like your mistakes over and over again, you start having these like instinctual alarm bells.
Yeah. So like with some BSC problems, like I'm trying to make sure that I cover all the cases that your code is going to travel, right? Or the paths that it's going to take. Like the mid can be less than this number, it can be equal to this number, or it could be greater than, right? So just trying to cover all my cases there, because yeah, that's a big pitfall there for mine.
Okay, yeah. So do you mind like pasting your what's called the checklist now? Your update checklist, I mean, in the prep doc. Let me put it under 10.13.
Okay. Let me paste that.
I mean, it's fine for you to refer to it like when you need to, but it's like eventually it's gonna become instinct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Yeah. Very short. That's good. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, in the last one, there was just a lot of mumbo jumbo, and it was like hard to remember all that stuff.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. I'm like scrolling down here. Yeah. I'm looking back at like 2-3 weeks ago. Like wait, where is it? No, not this one. Where'd the check? Yeah. 922. I'm on 922, and it's just like there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
It's like basically a page and a half.
Yeah, it was all the errors I was finding in the diary. But yeah, as I'm doing more of these, that becomes more like instant, like breaking down your examples to very simple cases.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Like I said, these are all just a structure, right? And like all these like pseudocode fleshed out, whatever. This seems like be repeated, right? So you don't really need to do that. You can just it's pretty much the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then also the idea is solid. I would say, did you cover your ass? Are you willing to basically forfeit the interview if you have to go back?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm saying that's the attitude you should have, not that's something you should do, right? You know, it's like of course there's gonna be some like blind spots you're gonna have, but in practice, what you should do is like, oh yeah, well, let me really make sure I've covered my ass and I'm willing to resign the interview if I have to go back. So okay. Yeah, and then and then you have all the list of mistakes that you've made before in the past down there. And it should be implicit in these. Of course, if there's like some mistakes you're really prone to, then just say, hey, in X situation, I am prone to do that, or something like that.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, it's again like when you do more of these problems and you like really scrutinize yourself, you start you'll start seeing patterns in your own behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, do you have any problems you want to talk about and a replay you want me to look at?
So I sent you 2 replays here.
Okay.
Let's see. It's on the Zoom chat.
Zoom chat, got it.
Let me see.
All right, I've opened your practice diary first.
It's let me see. 166 and 167. Those are the ones I just sent you.
Okay. Is there ones that you want to talk about that you didn't send me?
How about 165? This is yeah. With this one, I totally skipped the brute force. And then I missed the case where the number range can be less than 0. Yeah, this one used like some math stuff, right? It used like instead of having like while left is less than equal to right, like you do in a normal binary search, it had something that did math dot is close, so that checks if the 2 numbers are within 2 decimals of each other.
Interesting. Because I would have guessed a binary search for the real square root, to be honest, but
yeah, that's what it is. But it was interesting how EPI does this.
Okay.
So I don't know. Just wanted to check by you if this is one of those math problems I shouldn't focus too much on.
I'm gonna say that it's no. This is something that should be very reasonable because like everyone knows what a square root is, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you need to remember some abstract complex algebra. That's what we call stupid math. If the emphasis of the problem is on the mathematics. But in this case,
Okay.
it's really not. It's just really finding a number, if you really think about it, that satisfies XYZ properties. Yeah. So this is just a binary. This is a glorified binary search. And then I'm looking at this, and you're saying that there is a math is close. I don't see. I see a compare. Oh. If compare is larger or smaller or equal. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is just a floating point problem, actually. Yeah, don't worry too much about that one. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, because when you multiply by 0.005, I don't know if it's implicit as float or double, and you might end up with some rounding errors. I think that's the it's just rounding errors given the decimal. I mean not decimal but double number format. That's the trick here. I don't think it's just something that you should keep in mind that there may be some precision problem with doubles, but it's not like the biggest thing in the world, you know.
Okay, cool.
But it's like something you should keep in the back of your mind. It's not something I would have thought of either. Like, oh yeah, it would have been like someone would have to remind me of that. Okay. So let's actually look at the let me look at the other entries that you have here. Coding should be quick, not much thought. Am I spending out most time in planning? Does my idea reflect the entire path of the code and branch they take? Yeah, is my idea clear, concise? Can someone code it up? Yeah. So did you consider all? I assume the bold is like, hey, this is something you need to consider and remember.
Yeah, like drill down on it.
Okay, yeah. I would go a little bit more detailed into like the analysis. But if this is like the most you can come up with, then that's fine. But it does look a little bit light. That I'm gonna make that comment.
Okay. So for this, what do you suggest? Like talking about the past that led you to to mistakes, or what kind of what more details should I add here?
So basically, you want to compare and contrast like what the book did versus what you did, right? Maybe
Okay.
A sense like here's my thought pattern. Here's the thought pattern of the book. And then the difference was at this point. If I had just considered this question, I would have gotten to the book's answer, or I would have fucked up my answer, etc., etc.
Okay.
So it's really about it's like explaining explicit what the delta is. In order to explicitly describe the delta, you need to show what the A and B that you compare against are.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Okay. The idea is that you should look back at your practice diary, look back at that statement, and say, "Hey, I remember making this mistake." Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just like the moral from it; it's burning in your head the whole situation behind it as well. Because people don't really remember like the morals and stories. They kind of remember the story itself, right? Then they don't remember the moral. It's a very funny thing how the human mind works, actually. In this case, the story is how you solve the problem.
Okay.
That's why like parents tell fairy tales to their kids at night, right? It's like, oh yeah, Hansel and Gretel, stranger danger and whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's look at your let's look at the replay here.
Search in a 2D sorted array.
Interesting. Okay, I'm looking at this. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
All right, can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's take a look at what you got going. Okay.
So here my array is sorted.
Okay, got it.
The rows are in ascending order. Let's see. Search all entries. Search our entries row by row until you find your input.
Okay,
if you get to the end, you will return false. If you find your input, you will return true. Okay. This is going to run in length of row times length of column. This will be my runtime. There's no extra space used.
Sure.
The efficiency of this is that it's not taking advantage that the array is sorted, going from row to row, and also as you're traversing your columns from the top to the bottom. Okay, so lines to efficiency, not taking advantage that the array is sorted. Not taking advantage that the array is sorted.
Yeah.
And also from
you're not taking advantage of it sort of end to end. That's I would say that's not a bad way of putting it. I would have also said the fact that you're looking up a bunch of numbers that you don't need, that are not relevant.
Okay. Okay.
Like if I took out half the array, then it would
Mm-hmm.
you'd still be able to find it. So that's another way to put it. The reason why I would say this is a okay way of doing it is because, well, sorting by itself is a clue. But then it's like, is that how do I describe this? In the general scheme of things, sorting may or may not be a clue. That's the thing. I don't mind that you say, "Hey, sorting is relevant here," but you're kind of
Okay.
assuming that is something that we can take advantage of before we've proven it. Do you understand what I'm
Okay.
trying to say
Okay.
here?
Yeah, yeah. It's like eliminating half your elements, right? When you do some sort of search like this, right? Is that what we're trying to get to?
Well, yeah. Is that when you write this in an efficiency, you're basically saying that the key to solving this is that we can take advantage of the sorting.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that would have that's putting a little bit of the cart for the horse because you can only say that if you know it involves some kind of binary search to begin with.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a very subtle difference, but it shows a lot in like where your mind is thinking actually, because you looked at it, you're just kind of, I can tell you're just like doing the naive approach for the sake of bookkeeping, and then you go to the optimal one. So that's
Mm-hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of where your mind is at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
See, like just that one little thing just kind of showed me like exactly what you're thinking. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
also partly because you're biased towards the chapter of like, oh yeah, this is all sorted and whatever, but and binary search and whatnot. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's important to be very aware where that's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're at 5 now. What my cursor is? 5 is less than 8, so increase that value. We're at 6 now.
Okay, I see. You want to take
Six.
try to do some binary search here? Sure.
We're starting in the middle here, right? Because if I go at the very end, I'm starting at the end of the number set. Okay, so for me, it makes sense to start here in the middle since I'm doing the half right away. So let's see. So
Okay.
start at the top, right? Since it is half of your data points. Okay, so at each grid, you will compare the value in grid to the number you are looking for. Okay, so if grid number is less than
top right. Why is top right half your data points?
Hmm.
Why did you say that?
Oh, that's because I was your if you split it up in half, right? You can start let me see. Yeah, so I said I chose the top right because I could it's essentially splitting the all your data points in half, right?
Okay.
Like they're all sorted. Going from what is this? Going from the 8 at the lower left all the way to the 6 at the top right.
Okay.
Essentially that's split in half, right? So any number to the top is going to be lower, and any number to the bottom is going to be greater.
Okay, perfect. Good. That's fine. I understand.
Yeah, I think I should have said that in the description.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's also me like trying to go fast through this, but maybe you did.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like the moment you just said that everything made sense. That's perfect. As long as you said that in your actual code it when you're doing the test and whatever, that's perfect.
Okay.
So row is greater than column. If grid number less than target. Yeah, sure. Target. Okay, can you okay, I see this. All right. Okay, you're testing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, even without testing, what is something that is immediately that sticks out to you here?
Without testing
Well, yeah, if I like just take this whole code to begin with. Like just
yeah, yeah, the idea is not it's mostly code, it's not idea.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you I actually don't mind this because it's very simple, right? I don't mind the fact that in this particular case it's code because the idea is very simple. What I'm saying is that there should be a very obvious test case here that just spring out at you when you're looking at this. What is it?
Yeah, so we can throw the empty board here.
Okay. Yes.
If we throw the empty board, then we throw like yeah. So it's like covering the simple cases, right? Like
Yep.
the empty board,
Yep.
a board with only one row.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the empty board, it would crash right away because you're doing an index on board 0, and if you don't have nothing, it will crash right away.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, if you like I said, that step right there is like, hey, did I cover all my basic test cases? Did I cover my ass?
Okay.
That should immediately jump out at you, especially for a
Okay.
binary search. If you've seen a binary search run out of bounds, right? So so I've made that mistake before, and I'm just like, okay, then whenever I write a binary search, I know we're prone to out of bound runs. Did I cover the out of bounds? And the one that I see is like, oh yeah, what if even in this example, what if I asked for 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the empty board case covers that as well. So yeah, okay, that's fine. Otherwise, I think your algorithm's right. Okay, so yeah, to me, you made the exact same mistake, where it's like you just ran against the example, and it didn't seem like you tried against like simple dummy cases. So that's my takeaway from this.
Okay. Try simple examples.
Yeah, very simple examples, very obvious ones. And what is the limitation of every algorithm? Remember how I said, oh yeah, not only do you have to know the algorithm, you have to know under what circumstances it doesn't work, which also means when can you crash. So yeah, I mean, we talked about this one before. It's like, hey, did you cover your ass? And it said, oh, I covered it with the example you gave me. Is that enough? 9 times out of 10, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the exact same mistake. I mean, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, so that's like going back to the tree example, right? It's like the null tree, the one with the one node only, one with the left child, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I've mentioned this before. I don't know why it slipped your mind, but okay. Let's see if you recorded it in your diary at least. Are you testing enough? Yeah. So yeah. Are you careful enough with your testing? What do they match? So do they match the original problem? Fucked up on examples, testing code. Yeah. So are you testing enough? Yeah. So test to cover your ass. So in other words, yeah, you just lost $10,000. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah, it should feel like pain. You should feel frustration at yourself. That's the thing. You need, like, these mistakes are like, what if you make them during an actual Google interview? What if you make it during the actual interview? And that costs you the fucking offer. You're not gonna say, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I could have gotten a championship ring, but yeah, whatever. It's not an attitude we should have here. We should try to stamp out every single fucking mistake we ever make.
Okay.
And I mean, we talked about it before, so I mean, I can only keep telling you cover your ass so many times, but it's up to you to actually have the discipline to do it. Now, I'm not sure what it's going to take either. So I mean, it's like let me ask, when it goes to your mind, like when you see these mistakes and you see yourself making it again and again, well, how do you feel?
Pretty bad. Yeah, that's why I rewrote my whole approach.
Okay.
So yeah, it's yeah, I basically don't want to make them again. So yeah.
But yeah, you feel bad, but it's not like you feel like extreme frustration at it. But maybe you just need to make the mistake over and over again some more. I don't know. All right, next one.
Search is array for an entry equal to its index. Array sorted, the integers are distinct. Return index I such that the element.
Search. Okay, let me show the screen.
At index I equals to a I, right? Okay, so in this example that we're given, it should return 2 and 3, right? 2 or 3. This is my array, and this is the indices. Okay, so yep, that makes sense. Okay, so return index I such that element. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so my naive solution. Okay, naive solution. Let's say it's
So search a sorted array entry equal to its index. Sorted entry equal to its index. Okay, got it.
Solution is to iterate array.
Okay, so the above examples should return 2 or 3. Got it.
With an index and comparing and the content of array as such index.
Yep.
If
Okay, that's fine.
so, since this
Not take advantage of the probability of being sorted. Exact same thing mentioned before. Okay. Okay, so then let's see what you do here. So use a binary search to bring down the runtime of the native solution. Let me have every single time you do a comparison. Okay. So how do you plan on doing that? Let's see.
so,
How do you plan on doing
three cases. If doing a binary search, that is index equals array and index, right? If this is the case, we return index. If index is less than array index, what do you want to do here?
Good. You're doing covering cases. Good.
If index is less than array index.
What happens?
So this would be when we're at the very end, right? This is for example purposes. If the index is 6 and the content of the array is 9, you have to look to the left because the array is sorted from the array is sorted in ascending order. So this means that I have to go look to the left here. So by going to the left, so okay, go search to the left now. So what that means is right equals min minus 1, right? Okay. So then I have to look at the other case if index is greater than array index.
Sure.
Go search to the right now. So going above here, by example, let's say I'm at index 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
If index is greater than the content of the array, I'm gonna go to the right now. So what that means is
Okay. I would be careful here. I feel like you kind of just you had what's it called? Man with hammer syndrome. With you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Be a little bit careful here. The reason why is because even though it's sorted, yeah. Well, let's see.
F equals min plus 1. Okay.
Yeah. So you're establishing the binary search right here. Whatever. Oh no! You're doing the same mistake. Same mistake. Exact same fucking mistake. Do you understand why I said it was exact same mistake?
Yeah, that's not covering the simple cases like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, how do you even know this is correct? It just looks correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if I let's do some simple testing. Okay, what happens if I throw like array 0 and 1 with entry 1 at it, or let's say an empty array, right? Left, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's fine. Let's throw entry of 0, 1 at it. Okay. Left and 1. Mid, if mid equals to array index. Yeah, I is that the right one? Something doesn't seem right here.
Yeah, definitely the empty array would not work here.
No, the empty array. I think the empty array would work because the length of array just becomes 0. So then while left becomes 0, you return -1. Yeah, so you have -1. So that's fine. All right, and this is from EPI, right?
Yeah, EPI.
All right, let me put up the answer just to make sure if I'm right, but I don't. I think that this is not the right answer. I'm sure there's got to be more to it than this. That's what my instinct's telling me.
Yeah, it's 11.2.
Okay. Okay, 196. Got it. Okay, well, it looks like that is the right answer. Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I think these guys just have like difference equals a mid minus mid, right? But if you do some algebra, it's the same thing.
Let's see. So they do it as a matrix. Okay, that's fine. Oh wait, this is a 2D array, and you're doing a 1. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Shit.
11.2. Search a sorted array.
I'm in the Java book, so it's a little different.
Oh, okay.
Let me look. Okay, search. You want a search entry equal to? Got it. 12. They call it 12.2.
Okay.
Let me bring it up. Yeah. let's see. Okay, so they use difference, but it shouldn't matter that much. Okay, so the difference. Yeah, okay, so it left less than right. Mid is equal. Difference, they use difference minus get. Okay, so then if it's equal to 0, return mid, yeah. So if it is greater than 0, so if 0. Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. But again, you jumped into it. So that that's a mistake again. It's the same mistake from Tuesday, and it's the same mistake I said before. So it's like the fact that you make it twice in a row and you didn't fix it. Like you did these two problems back to back. And so are you careful with your testing? Are you careful? And you kind of just like said whatever, moved on. I mean, do you need another example of you doing that here? Like you just did it. Like you realized that you made the mistake before, and you're making the mistake again. What's the point of doing these exercises and replays if you're not going to fix your mistake? You know? I mean, I can give you all the problems in the fucking world, but it's not going to help if you're not changing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's the same thing for Tuesday sessions, it's the same thing from like 2 weeks ago, it's the same thing. I just, you know, you have to be much more aware of the mistakes you're making and vow to never make them. Mm-hmm. And I'm pointing it out right now. Just like every single mistake that you're making, you should not. I told you at the very beginning, if you make the same mistake again and again, and you don't make an effort to fix it, I can't help you. And this is a great example. I can't fucking help you if you keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what you want to do about it, but I can only point it out to you. I can give you, like, exercises to... I guess the best I can tell you to do is, like, every single problem, write out why. Yeah, I guess every single problem you do from now on, write out why your test is complete before you write code. And I'll check every single problem you do. If this thing is not on that every single problem, we're gonna have we're gonna have issues, like really big issues.
Yeah.
There's not much else for me to talk about at this point because if you can't get past this one, then I'm sorry. There's not much I can do.
Okay,
you gotta get the framework right, you know, but it's just this.
Okay, so for this one, to fix this, I have to throw in an empty array, then an empty array with one entry, and an empty array with 2 entries, right?
No.
To make it the simple.
Why is that complete? Let me ask you. Why is that complete?
No, it's not complete because it doesn't visit all the paths in your code, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So visit all paths.
Yeah. So if you look at it from that viewpoint, right? While left is less than right, and then return -1. Empty, like an empty array immediately needs to pass this because there's a branch of logic that goes into the while loop and a branch of logic that skips it, right? So empty array immediately will check that. Next would be like, okay, we need to have a valid array that will make sure that if mid equal to array index, right? So then that would be if index 0 has element 0 in it, right? Okay, that's gonna check that. And then you have to be able to check what happens if mid is less than array index? So okay, that's gonna be like your 2-element arrays, right? Or 3-element arrays, or however you want to structure it. And then those mid-element arrays need to be lopsided, where like 0 has to be like -5, and then 1 has to be 1, and then the other time when 0 is 0, and then 1 is 20, or something like that.
Okay.
And then you might want to try it with like a 3-element array just to make sure you're sane and whatnot.
Yeah. So for this, I did go through the example up there, but I should have I should write this down to make this more clear.
Yeah.
To visit all the paths.
Yeah, visit all the paths. We come up with very simple examples, and in order to make, because you start from simple to complex, right?
Yeah.
Don't just do the example given. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not much else for me to talk about, really. I think this is the only thing that's really getting you, and then of course, like all the things we talked about it for the Amazon one, is that to not shoot from the hip and not abandon your idea. Every single step has to be logical. So there's really not much else for me to talk about. I think you know all your mistakes. It's just a matter of whether or not you're gonna fix them.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it for me today. It's shorter, but there's not much complexity here. Any other questions?
Let me see. So, okay. So, just focus on the testing, like we said. What else? Make sure the testing is complete. Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll add that to my prep doc, my checklist again.
Yeah.
And make sure this is all in the process. So,
Yeah,
man. So one thing like these are old habits, right? We're trying to break these. I think I was thinking because of our last session too. It's like so much time just memorizing the solutions. That's like a hard pattern to break. But yeah, that's something I do want to do, right? Like get away from those bad habits.
Don't memorize solutions. Memorize your approach and bulletproof that approach.
Yeah.
That's what you should be focusing on. So, in this case, that approach just means, hey, add this very explicit step of testing all the cases before I commit myself to code.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all I got. All right, I'll call it early then.
Cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get back to this again then. So.
All right, sounds good. All right.
Cool.
I will
Awesome.
talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Bye. All right. Yeah, that was it. Honestly, there's not much to talk about. He knows what the problems are. It's whether or not he wants to fix them at this point. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's a very weird problem. It's like being told what your mistake is very explicitly, but then not doing it, you know? It's weird. Usually, I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm just like and this is like not the first time I've run into it, and it's like it's weird, right? So I'm wondering if there's like some other incentive at play here. Usually, people fall into incentives, but for life of me, I can't really figure out what that is. Is it like the lazy incentive where like, oh, I just want to memorize answers and then move on with this interview? Or because I'm trying to like structure this as a, hey, yeah, this will help you in your engineering career, right? Because you do need to test your shit when you come with your idea. So I'm like curious here, like what exactly is going on? Like what causes people to like the only thing I can think of is incentives, but is there something else at play? It's like, is it not taking it seriously? But no, I think he's taking it reasonably seriously. But he should be like, I feel like for most people who make mistakes, they really feel like a huge amount of pain about it, right? They just say, holy shit, I cannot fucking believe that at least when I was doing it, I was like saying, if I made the same mistake twice, I'd be like so mad at myself and I'd be like crying about it. Like on the second mistake, I'd be like doing that problem over and over and over again just to make sure that I nailed down that like step that would never allow me to make that mistake again. I would literally be like that fucking pissed, you know? So if it's like it can't just be like you have to be really, really strict on your habits. So I don't know. Maybe my expectations and like the way I see how this needs to be done is like totally out of whack with like what most people think. So I mean, anyone in the chat, feel free to like pitch in here. But I'm like, how do you, if you're, here's some audience participation, right? If you guys are told like what the problem is, like, and you find yourself making the same mistake over and over again, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like, if you just feel bad and then just like want to get away from it, or do you feel bad and want to just completely eliminate it? I think I'm not too sure. Well, it's easier to skip this test and stuff. Everyone's predisposed to take the easy path, I think. Yeah, I think it's like I have an idea that seems to work. Go, go, go. You know, it's that trap. And for me, I've recognized I've fallen into that trap many, many times. And whenever I get that instinct, I always like, even at work, I always say, hold up, run this by someone else. Hold up, is there something I'm missing here? Whenever something seems like that good or that easy, usually it's not. And my instinct, and I've trained that instinct, right? To be like, fuck, this is not, something's going to go wrong here. Let me get a second opinion. You know, I'll become paranoid of that. And I think that's helped me a lot. I mean, then again, there's like always times where I'll make those mistakes, right? But, and that's because I recognize it. So it's like recognizing that sensation, that the moment I feel or think that is the moment I know, shit, something's about to go wrong. Now, maybe nothing goes wrong, right? But the point is that it's like insurance. And maybe that's what needs to happen. So, all right. Isaac says, Yeah, it's easier to skip tests and stuff. Everyone's predisposed to take the easy path. Yeah. It's about recognizing I have that really you have that common instinct, right? You have that fast instinct of wanting to be lazy, and then just like override and having the willpower to at least not override it, but at least say, hey, if I find myself wanting to go, then I will go. Then I need to test. I need to really make sure this is bulletproof. All right. Anyway, I guess that's a stream for today. I know it's shorter than usual, but as we've, I think he has all the tools he needs to honestly do well at these interviews. The question now becomes like, is he gonna do it? And so yeah, I guess these are just gonna be we check in, see if we can nail it. So if there's no other questions, I guess I'll stop the stream. All right, thank you all for joining me. We'll be back here Tuesday. Connect me on my Discord and my socials. Links in the description down below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next Tuesday. Thank you all for joining me. Later.